All right, here we go, Nostrovini. This is the latest and the greatest and the most disturbing things that are going around in the big city. They have this crazy man. He shot up city, shot up an office building, and he got for the most part random people who are totally innocent. Even if you go along with his crazy idea that the NFL causes brain damage. Now, the young guy who was mistaken for a white man, I don't know how they did this because the guy was Chinese and black, and that doesn't register as white. But they said, yeah, well, perhaps a white man. But that was CNN and NBC, and they like to blame everything on the white man. Anyway, here we go. He comes in, he shoots the whole lobby. Then he goes up to the 33rd floor, but that's not where the NFL is. Now, his theory, the why he wanted to kill people, was because the NFL was responsible for his brain damage. They gave him something, a spelling of something, CAT2 or whatever. But there's no way of knowing that. The guy could have been just schizophrenic. He saw a few documentaries. The documentaries that said how the NFL and all these football players were getting brain damage and therefore going out of their minds. Well, you might as well take all kinds of sports in which you hit your head and which you might have brain damage. Your soccer, your boxing, your everything. Come on. So he goes over there, goes cross country, goes on drugs, gets in there, comes out with a long gun, and he starts shooting up the joint. And he killed this blade policeman, this Muhammad something, and who was a part-time here doing security work there. And he shot some executives, and he shot a few people there. Now, the cure for this is simple. Now, all of a sudden, they come out with the gun control. Let's have some gun control. We have to have nationwide gun control. You know why that is? You know why the people, the liberals want the gun control? So they can impose a dictatorship like the Biden's dictatorship. What you need is a militia. Well, in other words, vigilantes. That's what they were back then. You see a guy coming to your town with a rifle. A militia comes down, boom, 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 dead, dead, dead. That's how you take care of these things. You should have no control. It should be like Texas. That should, most of the murders that happen in the city are done with when only the criminals and the cops under the control of the one world government have the guns. Everybody should have a gun. I don't have a gun because I don't like loud noises. It's not bad aim, and you know, I shouldn't do it. It's not good for me. It's not my thing. I'll use my judo experts. So this kid like targeted NFL. He comes in and then he shoots a whole bunch of people up. Then he puts the bullet in his chest. Boom, boom. Then his brain is still intact. And he says, "Hey, why don't you test me and see if I had the brain damage from the football?" He could be just as schizophrenic. He's open to suggestion. That's the truth. That's how schizies are. That's why so many crazy people are doing so much crazy things. I'll tell you why they're doing so many crazy things. I'll educate you because you need to be educated. Schizophrenics are open to the power of suggestion. I'm telling you, it's the power of suggestion and obsessive things, like gambling and trying to kill themselves. And if you talked about seeing things about Martians, they'll be going on 851 to find out where the Martians are. Where the Martians are in Area 51. Where the Martians are. Where the Martians are. Now they had a revisionist is the bay is with gun is bust. Huh? What do you mean revisionist? This man he had a whole history. And then he's with the gun. And they don't charge him because he's a lunatic. He's a lunatic and a criminal, and he doesn't get charged. I run around with a gun, man, like myself, and it's going to be the end of me. I'll be in jail forever. So that's what the honest citizen is handicapped, and the criminal is allowed to run free, pillaging and murdering, and using machetes. They say, "Well, why don't we get rid of guns?" Ooh. Yeah, then they do the machete. If you want to be hit by a machete, which would you rather do? Be shot or hit with a machete? Tough choice. Yeah, let me read this. I'll read this. He So looks to cut elite. You know that communist Marxist Muhammad that Ugandan African wants to do? This the guy's running for office here. He's a communist, a known communist who wants to redistribute the wealth around, probably smudged into his own pockets. And he wants to eliminate the elite police patrol that got the guy who was shooting up the place. Yeah, he's a crazy bastard. What the hell are you doing? Wow. That patrol is great. And then he said, well, it's racist, it's against the homeless. What? Okay. First off, the only people they are against, and they're trying to get down on those people who are wearing the mask, Antifa people, among others, and the Palestinians who are doing it too, or the Hamas. Look, let me tell you something. Those are all foreign students. They should all be deported. Deported tomorrow. And yeah. You're letting the cancer into the country. It's a cancer. It's a cancer. Can't let somebody doing that. During World War II, did you have Japanese coming in there and the banzai and burning the American flag? It would never happen. Not now. It wouldn't. You would be rounded up and sent to let me tell you something. Get my eyes up. Don't there. Katie's gonna for Trudeau. Oh, two jerks get together. Katy Perry, who was living in sin, and had a baby with a girl, a guy, I mean, not a girl. I won't put it past her. She used to be born again, but she's not born again anymore. She's going with Trudeau, the communist, the dictator or former dictator of Canada, the man who persecuted those truck drivers, you bastard. His father's Fidel Castro. Oh, it's coming, so obvious. That's why he's such a commie bastard. Commie bastards. Oh, yes, indeed. Marxist bullshit artist. Yes, sirree. Uh, Trump, my hero, stole. You know what he tried to do? This Epstein guy, and that's where they had a break off. He tried to seduce young girls who were working for the Trumpy organization in hotels. 16 and that, and Trump threw him right out. He 86 them from the whole place. Yeah, that was the conflict. They ain't go on no Epstein plane to Little Girl Island. Didn't happen. Never happened. Now, but on the other hand, Clinton, God knows what went on there. Because the majority of perverts in that Epstein sort of situation are either moderates, or, in betweeners, or liberals. And the Republicans themselves are too square for that. They're not going to do it. That's not what they do. They don't go with Epstein Island. That's crazy. Now, who's behind Epstein? We don't know. CIA has done things. They've dabbled in the bad. The Musan? I don't know. I don't know. Or just some powerful guy, who go on name, some shadowy situation of the one world government. We were running Imus, signs that just anti oh look, Epstein Largo girls, what it said that sick truth of Epstein Jewish libel. They're trying to say the Jews, the Israelis are starving those people, on Gaza. This is not. What's happening is they're putting in as much food as they can, and the Hamas is taking all the food. This is true. And they had this little boy. He looked like, oh my God, he's a skeleton, like something from the Holocaust, but he had a disease that made him look worse. And his father, oh, he was looking for his father. No, he was looking for Jews to kill the father. This is not the pretty picture they're wanting to. And let me tell you, in World War II, if we played the kitty cat like these Israelis are with their enemies, we would have never won the war. What do you think urban fighting is about? And you're dealing with one of the most ruthless situations in history in terms of calmness. You hide behind children. You kill children. They are the most evilest people of this current day. Sometimes you get confused. You go, hey, how they commit the Nazis or the Maoists or the Chinese pan. Well, that's wait, we can play apples and hand grenades. Come on, they are the baddest ones now. I guarantee you. The most weirdest. Yeah, this woman, she's going to probe these advocacy groups that are trying to undermine our ability to get rid of these invaders. That's what they are. The foreign immigrant situations are not workers. They're invaders. Look at this. You know what just happened? Tell you about it. We had a Jamaican guy. He wanted to be cat, and he was illegal with a criminal record, I think. And he was made a cop in Maine. What the hell is wrong with you, Maine? You're so circumventing, now you have the cops not helping ICE people, and now you're doing this stuff, the Rosie. It's crazy. You know how you're crazy? Crazy people. Rolling back the hidden eco tax. They were going to destroy our toilets by making a suction in there. They were going to destroy the shower by doing the faucet so the water's soft. We can't wash our luxuries. They were gonna make us all do their little liberal ovens because climate problems gonna kill us all. Climate problems. That's the bullshit. There've been heat waves before. Now we're having a little bit of a heat wave. Everybody's going, hey, look, let me tell you something. We've had heat waves when I was in my 20s, which was a long time ago. We've had heat waves all the time. Oh, the freaking time. And they lasted for months. That's what they call the weather. The weather. Ah, yeah, roll back. Yeah, Pete's blew off. Yeah, Pete Buttigieg. And him and what's it called? Cory Booker should go as a team running for president. We got so much in common. Anyway, black man, white man, you know, I don't know. Cory Booker. Yeah. Anyway, at least they can hang out with the same boss. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Cory Booker was doing this thing where he's giving these women a hard time, and he's really confrontational, like he was going to have a cat fight. I don't know, Cory, a little wackadoo. Years ago, he had this imaginary ghetto guy that was supposed to represent his little town in Newark or New Jersey. Guy didn't exist. He was a composite. What? Yeah, like the cartoons in back of me. He doesn't exist. Ah, you know, the saber rider, the Russians are saying, you want war? Yeah, Russians. Who do you think you're dealing with? You're dealing with the man who's raised by God. Putin, you don't stand a chance. Now, I've changed my mind about this. I was going to let it go. I was going to say, hey, we can't risk atomic war. But now you got me mad. You think you're gonna bluff Trump? He's the man who God has taken in the hand. You're not going to restore your little Russian empire. It's not going to happen. Hollow word. That guy. Uh, he um he did something. He went to the house of the cop that just got killed. The cop was a Muslim, which you just show. And the thing is, like bullshit that we're going. Well, it was during with George Floyd when the communists said all these bad things about the cops. First off, George Floyd was a criminal. He put a gun next to a pregnant woman's stomach. That's no angel you're celebrating here. Secondly, I feel sorry for those cops who got in so much trouble doing their job. George Floyd died of drug overdose because the man was full of drugs. That's your hero. Okay, that's your hero. Anyway, this guy is an excuse. Excuse. Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. 2,042,000 criminals, career criminals, real hardcore, a 500,000, almost a 500,000 criminals, hardened criminals. I mean hard, with the criminal records going along. You know what we should do? We should treat them as an enemy, as a war we enemy. We put them on the Aleutian Islands. You put a few years in the Aleutian Islands, they're not going to want to come back. Know where the Aleutian Islands are? Off the coast of Africa, in Alaska. We can have our own little gulag. Well, of course, we have Alligator Island and we have Alcatraz coming up. Alligator Island. Well, Alligator Alcatraz Island. I don't know. There's a lot of alligators there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Tariffs are working. No longer are we going to be in trouble with our industrial base are destroyed. It's going to come back and we're going to have them and that billions and trillions of dollars. The one world government and the big corporations don't like this because they're like vampires. They've been sucking the blood of the American taxpayer for years. Ugly is dating. Women. Come on. You're such complainers. Jesus Christ. Why don't you all turn lesbian already and to put us out of our misery? We'll go back to our video games. We'll have to deal with your crap. It's true. Now they also have an organization. They're trying to make menopause look good. They said menopausal cougars. Does that mean you're going after the young guys? You think a guy, a young elder man's gonna put up with you? You were never a bargain in the first place before you went insane temporarily. All right. How about that? Anyway, all right. Okay.